What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It is chicken processing day here at the homestead. As you can see there, we have like 3 birds left, so I figured I should just go over the setup, the rundown. There'll be a specific little cut to the actual dispatching if you want to see exactly how we do that. This is only our second time doing it, so nothing's perfect. We're doing our best, trying to be as humane and keep the birds as comfortable as possible, and then fill our freezer. So we run our chickens in these big hoop houses here. It works great. We're able to house like 75 birds in there, no problem. We let them out to range around and they eat grass, and we have electric netting and everything. But for right now, it's stationary. We've got kill cones right here next to him. So we dispatch the birds here. Then we just walk them down the driveway. This is just kind of how it worked out this year. Ideally, you'd want the coop as close to your processing setup as possible. But we're rocking and rolling because we've had help from our friend Alec. He's been a savior here, making this go way faster. So once the birds are dispatched, come over here. We've got the scalders, just a regular propane tank hooked up to like a turkey fryer. Nothing fancy there. Keeping that at 150 and then dunking the birds for just 3 to 5 seconds. Plucking the feathers to see once they're loose, they're ready to go. Then we come over here into the plucker. I can leave a link for this plucker. It's been great. You just have to make sure the cord's out of the water and then you don't have any problems. Then we've got 2 stations here. We have our Sow the Land laminated card. So shout out Jason at Sow the Land, just as a refresher to make sure we're doing everything right. And then I've been doing the dispatching. I'll get the birds ready for eviscerating, bring them over the table. And then Alec and Jamie are doing eviscerating, and they're doing an excellent job cleaning all the birds out. Once they get clean, they take a little vinegar and water bath in here for about a minute, 2 minutes, and then they go into the coolers there to get all the way down to temperature before bagging. So I just wanted to give the rundown of the setup. We've got fans going. Cord management is a big thing, so get everything up out of the way. Bungee cords are a great way to accomplish that. We got some music going. You want to be comfortable doing this because parts of it are uncomfortable. So that's the setup, nothing fancy, way better than last year. We decided to do it here instead of in the mud. Last year we did it in the mud and that wasn't great. So we're gonna finish up these birds, and then I'll check back in when we do the bagging process, because that was a little bit of a sticking point last year. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit better of a job with bags. We got bigger bags, which I think was part of the problem, but I'll check back in and we'll go over that process. And if you want to see the actual dispatching of the birds, here it comes. If you don't want to see it, skip. It's like a couple minutes long, but it's the actual dispatching of the bird. Blood, gore, graphic content coming right now. All right, so for the actual dispatching of the birds, we have the coop and our kill cones right next to the coop. It's just way easier to do it that way so you're not transporting the birds. But you're gonna go into the coop. Come on, camera lady, follow me closer. So the birds are gonna freak out when you grab them. That's normal. But if you put your hand on their back like this, it'll help them calm down. And when you put them into the cones, you're putting them in upside down. You can grab them by the feet, and that'll help them kind of relax a little bit. Get out of here, dogs. Get. So again, into the cone, upside down. If the bird's freaking out, just wait a second and let it calm down before you put it in there. I like to grab the feet. I come up underneath. Come over here. And I grab the head. We are running into, with these birds, they're bigger, so we should have gotten bigger kill cones, but this is what we got. So behind the ear, which is right here, you want to push back some of these feathers. You don't want to be sawing through feathers. And then with a forward and back motion, it's just a quick cut. Just like that. If you need to hit it 2 or 3 times just to make sure that it's bleeding out properly, do that so that the bird doesn't suffer. But this bird's already done, and it's gonna shake in here. Those are just nerves. You can hold it by the feet so that it doesn't flop out, but this bird is gone already. So there's nothing cruel happening here. It is just bleeding out. and that gives you the best quality meat there when all the blood drains out before further processing. So this is the actual dispatching portion. We do 3 at a time, and we let them bleed out for 3 to 5 minutes before taking them to the scalder. So that's all there is to it on this. Just make sure your knife is sharp. And last year I cut my hand, so this year I'm wearing a cut resistant glove on my non-dominant hand. So they're gonna make noise, gases are gonna be released. It's all normal. This is like this is the part that most people are uncomfortable with, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it. I don't like dispatching the birds, but it's gotta happen, so we do it. Absolute monsters out here. Oh yeah, well you get that less frequently with this kind because that's what happens when you bleed them properly, and then you don't get that. But when they're electrocuted or gas. So we just got done bagging all the birds and putting them in the freezer. You want to tell them the average?
Total, there's 48 birds. Total weight, 355 pounds. Average out to 7.3.
Yep, like $700 worth of feed for that. So it comes out to less than $2 a pound if that's all you're calculating. Of course, there are other costs involved, but most of those are kind of upfront that we use for years. So it makes sense to do it yourself if you're willing to do it and you have the space to do it, because the quality of chicken is way higher than you're gonna get. What was our biggest one?
9.6.
9.6. Raising mini turkeys over here. So this year was way better than last year. I think the location where we did it, being on the pad here, not dealing with mud, that was a big plus. We've got fans running on both sides. We didn't have any bugs. We got lucky it was overcast today, so the sun wasn't beating down on us, but we got this 10 by 20 canopy. We got it because we're going to be vendors at the Homesteaders of America conference in October in Virginia. So if you happen to be going to that, make sure you stop in and say hello to us. But yeah, I think that's about it for this year's chicken processing. Any of the gear and equipment that we have, if I can link it, I'll link it in the description. But I think that's it. If you guys got any questions, comments, leave them below. Make sure you're subbed to the channel if you're not already. And we'll catch you on the next one. Got anything? Alright, we'll see ya.